IVM.
You're listening to Wordy Wordpecker, Extraordinary Stories of Ordinary Words with Rachel Lopez. Here's a word for know-it-alls, especially for those who like quizzes. We're discussing the origins of the word quiz itself. Do you know where the word quiz comes from? Well, there's one story that is so colorful, you have to hear it before we get into the actual origins. So the story goes that in 1791, a theatre owner in Dublin in Ireland made a bet just for fun. So he makes a bet that he can introduce a new word into popular use in just 2 days. And not only that, he's going to make up this word. He's going to get it to be popular. And it's a word without a definition. So all of Ireland, or at least all of Dublin, is going to start to use this word in a way that they understand. They're going to make up their own definition, their own meaning for it. So what he does is he takes these pieces of paper, he writes the word Q-U-I-Z on them, and he distributes them to street urchins saying, listen, why don't you just write these on the walls of popular buildings all across the city? And that's what the street urchins do. Overnight, they're writing quiz, 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 quiz all over Dublin's walls. And in 2 days, exactly what this theatre owner wants to happen happens. Everyone is like, quiz, quiz, what is this quiz? Who wrote it? What does it mean? And it becomes this major talking point for everything. It's the kind of an early example of something going viral, something that is graffiti, and something that is, a very strange marketing campaign. It's also kind of performance art if you think about it. So 2 days pass, everyone's thinking of quiz, and everyone's like, okay, because we don't know the answer, quiz probably means a guessing game. And that's, well, according to this story, the origins of the word quiz and how quiz came into being. But there's just one problem with this story. It is absolutely not true. It's a made-up story that appears in a magazine, and it comes at least 1 decade later than the use of the word quiz. So by the time the story comes out, 1791, right, the word quiz is already in popular use. There's a diary entry for it in which a woman writes in 1782, like 10 years ago. So she writes that a quiz is an odd or eccentric person. You're looking quizzical. A quiz actually means a person in the way that she sees it. But in any case, it's around. I mean, she puts it down in her diary. It's definitely in use before these strange shenanigans start. By 1790, when the story is supposed to have been dated, quiz also was a kind of yo-yo, like a child's toy that kind of spun around. There's an article in a sports magazine from a few years later that suggests that quiz might be an insult. To call someone a quiz means they care too much about the rules. It's like calling someone a nerd or a square, which, I mean, if you look at quizzers today, that's pretty much how people see them. They see us as nerds and squares and people who care too much about the rules. I'd just like to say that we're really nice people, okay? We can tell you how quiz really came about. The word essentially comes as a shortening of inquisition, which is an Old English word. And like lots of Old English words, it takes its origins from Latin. It takes it specifically from the Latin word inquire, which is to inquire or to ask, and essentially means let's ask, let's inquire, let's question something, and that's where quiz comes from. So 10 points to all the quizzers listening. You're not a nerd, you're not a square, you're a cool person. This was Wordy Wordpecker. If you liked this show, you can listen to other fantastic podcasts on the IVM Podcast app and on our website, ivmpodcasts.com, or wherever you get your podcast from. Don't forget to follow IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. And you can reach out to me on Twitter at Greater Bombay and hit me up with your favorite words.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to listen to attempt number 15 to record the promo for the podcast Vartalab.
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 All day, all night, Vartalab.
Oh yeah. It's a really nice podcast, guys. It's with me and Naveen, and it has really nice stories.
Yeah, people come tell their stories, ups and downs, fun times. We all cry at the end. It's like a Karan Joy movie, but in 1 hour or less.
Yay.
Yeah, every Monday. Yeah.
It's got humans.
Long, long ago, not in Bethlehem, but in a place nearby, there was a wonderful birth of a huge show, which I like to call Cyrus Says, a show that encapsulates everything in human history, from the first Homo sapien to the last Homo sapien, who's traversed the entire world and then come back to India. This is a show which tells you everything about everything. If you want to know, avoid Google, come to us. It's called Cyrus Says. Get new episodes every Monday and Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts from. It's simple as A, B, oh God, what comes after that?